Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Wendy. I'm a certified yoga and Pilates instructor, and I love bringing you all sorts of classes to fit into your day. Today's class will be sort of an introduction to yin yoga. So typically in a yin yoga class, we stay in a class between 60 and 90 minutes. We use lots of props. And today we're going to be taking that bigger formatted class and shrinking it down into about 20 to 30 minutes. And as you can see, we're not using any props. So all you need today is your mat and yourself. And honestly, even if you don't have a mat, you don't really need one. So let's go ahead and start seated. Let's take a moment to close down the eyes. And taking the awareness and the attention to the breath. Typically, when we practice yoga, the original intent of the physical practice was to prepare the body and the mind, or the practitioner, for meditation. Within our yin yoga experience, as we're sitting in our postures and holding them for a longer amount of time, we can take this as a sort of meditation. So throughout our class today, you may notice your mind start to wander, maybe to the past or the future. And wherever our thoughts are, when we notice ourselves coming away from the practice, stepping away from the mat mentally, we'll go ahead and start to draw our attention and awareness back to the breath, back to the inhales and the exhales. And maybe just by noticing the breath, you can notice the body beginning to relax, beginning to let go of some of the tension that is unconsciously held, and allowing ourselves to slip into a state of connection and ease. And from this place, let's go ahead and set an intention for our practice. So whether it's as simple as allowing ourselves to relax, or cultivating mindfulness, or you can allow your intention to be anything that drew you to this class today. Just allowing these one or two words to help focus the mind and help to keep us in the present moment. So from here, we can start to blink the eyes open, or we can keep the eyes closed. We're just going to start to make our way into a standing forward fold. So it doesn't really matter where we are on our mats, but we are going to have our feet a little bit further apart than hips distance. We're going to invite a nice generous bend into the knees, and maybe our hands rest down on the ground if you can easily find that connection. For a little bit further away, maybe just grasping opposite elbows, allowing your pinky fingers even to tuck into the elbow creases. Just allowing your arms to be weightless and allowing the spine to drip down to the mat. Now maybe as we first come into the posture, we find a little bit of movement, maybe swaying forward, back, side to side, just finding all four corners of our feet equally pressing down and into the earth. And once we find that balance, we'll go ahead and find stillness. So this is maybe the most challenging part of Yin Yoga, is the stillness. Because as we're still in the body, there's really not much to distract the mind. So the mind tries to distract itself. It goes towards stories of our past, maybe creating hypotheticals of our future. And what that causes is really a state of imbalance. It really puts us into the mindset of feeling like we don't have enough. But the crazy thing is that when we allow ourselves to simply stay and experience a posture for what it is, experiencing the sensations for what they are, then suddenly we can find ourselves being content, just in the moment. As we're coming to about the halfway mark of our posture, maybe you start to notice some shifts in the body. Maybe a little bit of opening where we didn't have it before. And maybe just softening into those areas. Let's go ahead, take our time here, bend your knees as much as you need to plant the hands down. We're just going to walk ourselves into a downward dog. So take your time, doesn't really matter what it looks like. We're not going to stay here super long. Just go ahead, walk it out here, alternating bending and lengthening through the knees, shooting one heel and then the other down towards the mat. And just notice any shifts that have happened, even just in our first posture. From here, we're going to come down onto our knees, so meeting in a tabletop position. Our wrists underneath our shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Maybe we want what we want. Maybe we want our hands to be a little bit further away from us, just to create a bigger angle here in the wrists. This will help if you have any tenderness in those joints. So wherever we are here, just finding 3 cat-cows. So inhale, drop the belly, lift the crown of the head, pull the chest through the biceps. Exhale, press the ground away, round through the spine, look for the belly button. Inhale, more so towards cow. Exhale, more so towards cat. Take the last round with the breath. And coming more so towards neutral. So from here, however gracefully we can find our way, we're going to make our way down to our bellies. So tap the tops of the feet down onto the ground. Send your shoulders, or send your elbows forward so they're underneath the shoulders. Start with the shoulders up towards the ears, and then roll the shoulders down and back, pressing the elbows down into the ground. So we're finding a nice amount of opening through the heart here. We can keep our head up, our gaze forward, or if we would like to release some of the effort here, we can drop the head down towards the chin. Just continuing to press into the elbows. continuing to find the opening through the heart space. So in Yin Yoga, as opposed to more of our yang or active practices, instead of accessing the muscles, instead we're looking to open up the fascia. So fascia is connective tissue, and this connective tissue actually lines most all of our muscles, all of our bones, all of our organs, and really is what holds everything together. So if you can imagine, fascia is very thin. It's almost like saran wrap. So if you can imagine saran wrap wrapped all around your body, if you pinch one edge or just one corner of the saran wrap, usually all the rest of it will start to wrinkle and crunch up too. So when we experience trauma in one area of the body, whether it's physical or emotional trauma, what tends to happen are these little pinches just throughout the body. So these are things we may notice, or we may notice even the symptoms of those compressed areas. So really, Yin Yoga gives us the tools to open up, to allow it to smooth out, and allowing ourselves to come into an even deeper state of balance within the body, as well as in the mind. Let's just take 5 more deep breaths here. When we're ready, let's just slide our hands forward. Take the forehead onto the mat for a moment. So full prostration, just feeling the back of the body open up. This might be a little bit uncomfortable of a position, and that's okay. Just noticing for a moment how it makes you feel. And then when we're ready, we're going to, as gracefully as we can, make our way back towards a child pose. So for this child's pose, let's take the big toes to touch. Maybe we open up our knees out as wide as our mat, settle our hips down, and then allow our forehead to touch down. And if this feels a little bit wonky, maybe we want to try sliding our knees together and getting that support of the chest. So just like our legs can have a few different options, our arms will too. So we can leave our arms out extended. We can take our hands by our side. We can even tuck our arms in between our legs and grab for our feet. So wherever we are here, just take a few breaths, take a few moments to find a place that really feels good in your body and finding a shape that you can maintain. So wherever we are here, whether we're completely melted or we have a little bit of lift, let's for sure find the forehead connected down. Maybe taking a few rocks side to side. Coming back to that intention that you set for yourself at the beginning of class. And finding stillness if you haven't already. Allowing gravity to do its work on you. Just continuing to thoughts and the focus back to the breath. About halfway through the pose, just noticing where your thoughts are, and if they've come away from the breath, just gently guiding the attention back. And while the breath isn't audibly or physically getting louder, our attention on the breath makes it resonate throughout the body. And as our attention and awareness is here, maybe the breath can become louder than the thinking mind. About 5 more deep, expansive breaths. Good. Let's slowly start to take ourselves out of this posture. Maybe we give the shoulders a few rolls at the top, any little wiggles and movements. And then let's go ahead, take ourselves off of the heels. Let's send our legs out in front of us. So a little bit of movement here. Let's just take both of our knees into our chest, open up through the knees. So coming into a butterfly position. From here, yogi's choice. So we might want to come into more of a Tarasana shape or more of a diamond shape. That's perfect. This will get a little bit more into the outer hips. Or we can move the heels closer towards the groin in that, typical Baddha Konasana. And in this way, we get more into the inner thighs. So you might notice there's a little bit of a difference between my knees, forward and back. I'm just going to find it kind of a healthy balance in between the two, but you can find whatever works for you here. So we're going to inhale. Let's just take our chest forward just a bit. And then as we exhale, let's go ahead, start to melt forward. So option here, just to take our hands down to the ground, take our hands to the feet. Other option is to take our hands almost as if they're a forklift, and we're just going to slide them underneath our ankles. So I really love to do this when I don't have any props, because what tends to happen is when we sit in our butterfly for a long time, the knees and gravity keep pushing down, and maybe we're going just a little bit further than we normally should. So we're just going to go ahead and support our legs with the arms if we can, and melt the head down towards the earth. So with our more yang style practices, we really like to find nice straight spines. But with this yin style of yoga, alignment is a little bit less important. So we're finding a bit of flexion here, we're finding rounding, we're finding ourselves melting. And in this way, we're not holding tension in our bodies so that our bodies are fully able to relax. Five more breaths here. Nice and slow, we'll start to pull ourselves out of the posture. Let's send our right leg forward, and our left knee is just going to come up towards the sky. We're going to cross the left leg over, and some of us may like to keep that leg extended. If we're a little bit more open in the hips, we're just going to take right foot back towards our heel. So let's just take this into a twist. Left hand trickles behind us. Inhale, right arm reaches up. And then exhale, we'll hook the elbow onto the thigh. So inhale, we find length. Exhale, we twist. And with our other movements, we found relative stillness. With this one, we're going to find a little bit of movement just with the breath. Inhaling for length. Exhaling for depth in your twist. We'll inhale, look forward. Exhale, unwind. We'll send both of our legs back forward. Take our right leg in this time, right knee into the chest, cross the foot over, and then we can leave it lengthened, or we can take that left foot back by the heel. Let's inhale, the left arm reaches up. Exhale, twist. Allow the right hand to trickle behind you. So inhale for the length. Exhale for the twist. Breathing into the belly to help support detoxing of the internal organs. Inhale, we'll look forward. Exhale, we'll unwind. Let's send both of our legs out in front of us, little shake. We're going to make our way onto our backs. So go ahead, just slide yourself down. Almost done here. One last set of stretches and then Shavasana. So let's go ahead, send both of our legs up to the sky just for a moment, little waterfall. We can take some movements if that feels good. And then from here, let's cross our right ankle over our left thigh. Interlace the fingers behind your left thigh if that feels okay. So if this is not going to work for you, just go ahead and place the left leg down onto the ground. A little bit of pressure into our right thigh. So find a place that works for you. Maybe we're gripped on the left thigh, maybe we're gripped on the left shin. Once again, find your space. Hold there. Keeping flexion through the right foot, but everything else can be relaxed. Trying to find ease, even as we exert a bit of effort. Releasing through the legs, send them both up to the sky, a little bit of movement. And then let's switch. So left ankle on top of right. Find whichever variation suits you, suits your body. And we will meet here. So hopefully we're fairly even between the two sides, taking similar expressions of the posture. Allowing your face and your jaw to smooth, to soften. Ready, we'll release both legs up to the sky, give them some little wiggles and movements. Pull both of the knees back into the chest. Give yourself a big squeeze. Inhale. Exhale, allow yourself to open up. Final Shavasana, final relaxation. Allow your attention and awareness to return to the breath. Come back to that intention that you set for yourself at the beginning of class. And allowing your body and mind this time to really process and integrate all that we've done in our class together. Feel free to stay in this Shavasana position for as long as you have available to you. The light that's within me honors and acknowledges the light that's within you. And from this seed, from this source, we are literally one. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.